we're going to talk about D's. Maybe. So, you don't sell to a D personality. You have the privilege of being a part of their decision.
It says a D.
So what?
It says a D.
It says a D, exactly. So, the interesting thing here is kind of looking at an overview is Ds only account for about 3% of the population. But they're very active and they're very task-oriented people. So we'll talk about each one as we go, but Ds are a small percentage of the people, and that's really kind of a good thing, but you'll notice them right away. So when you're talking to someone and you want to find out what they are, and you say, so tell me about yourself. The answers they're going to give are going to start off talking about their achievements, awards, activities. They're going to have big, broad body language as they're telling you about stuff. They're going to take that pen out of your hand. So who in here identified as a D? Nobody? Did anybody in here identify as a D?
Larry Northrop is a D.
I know, he came to mind too. So, nobody in this room identified as a D? Okay, all right. So be on the lookout for these people. I'm working with one right now, and it's knowing that about him changes how I interact with him. So, D styles, they have the gift of direction. Their strengths, they're born leaders, independent, self-sufficient, goal-oriented. They're going to get shit done, or you better get out of the way. Emotional needs, they have a very high energy style. They have an ego that needs to be stroked, so they want to be appreciated for what they do.
I have to reconsider. I think I'm a D.
Yes, you are.
Having a sense of control is a primary need. So they need to be in control of things, and keep that in mind when you're telling them about your products. And their greatest fear is being taken advantage of. We'll talk a little bit more about that later. But their visual clues, you're going to see them when they walk in the door, because they're going to have big flashy car, large body language. They're going to finish your sentences and finish your thoughts. They need people to support them in their goals. Accomplishments are the #1 thing for them. And they often will finger point and pound their fist. It's not their fault, it's your fault. So, their weaknesses. Bossy and quick-tempered. Here's the next one. They may be rude or tactless. So,
Heavy D. Like the rappers.
they can come on too strong. They can be inflexible, impatient, because they want to get shit done right now, not later. But they also enjoy controversy. So keep these things in mind as you're talking to them and working with them. So their greatest fear is being taken advantage of. So these are people who need to be in charge, they need to be right, they need to make decisions. So they don't want to be in a position where they're taken advantage of. And if you're selling them something and they start to think that you're trying to take advantage of them, they're gone. They're out the door. And these are people that need their ego stroked and like to talk to people, so they're going to tell everyone about it. So dial yourself back in and sell to them in a way that they need to be talked to. So their characteristics, they're active and aggressive. They're not very contemplative. They're going to make decisions and ask questions later. Make decisions first, ask questions later. And their antagonized response, they're usually aggressive. They're not going to sit back and think about it, they're going to attack first. And their emotional measurement is anger. So, for D-style communication, if you are communicating to somebody who is a D personality style, you need to be short and to the point. You need to verbally applaud their accomplishments, which they're going to tell you about. They need their ego stroked. My daughter identifies as a D. And realizing this, I now stroke her ego when I need to. And it's changed how we interact. But emphasize the bottom line. Get to the point. Give them brief information. They don't want the whole picture. They don't want every last bit of detail. And they can sometimes be cryptic. Don't take offense to it. But keep that in mind, because they're not always going to give you all the information. So you have to be able to pull that out of it. And then be efficient and time focused. They're busy getting stuff done, focusing on their goal. They want the information, make a decision, and move on. Now, because there are no Ds in this room, and if you have some D tendencies, look at yourself. D is my second highest trait. So I need to learn to request rather than demand. D's are going to demand stuff. That tends to upset people, so I dial that back down when I request things. I've learned to say please and thank you. Using a gentler tone of voice, talking nicely to people. It's not get stuff done, here, do this. It's, hey, can you do this? I appreciate it. And then be careful not to act impatient. And listen to the end before responding. Don't finish their sentences. So it's kind of, if you're a D and you have D tendencies, dial yourself back a bit. But the bottom line for Ds is, how do you going to sell to a D? A D comes in, what are you going to do? Give a quick summary of the facts. Get to the point. Don't waste time socializing with them. These aren't the people that you want to build that rapport with. When you go look at all these sales training things, the first thing you do, build rapport with them. Talk about their family, their kids, their hobbies. A D and a C, don't build rapport. Just move on. If you try to build rapport with me instead of selling me, telling me the facts, I'm done. I'm out the door. I don't want to hear it. But don't waste time socializing. Give them a very straightforward voice tone. Here's what it is. This is it. And they need results. They don't want the fluff, they just want results. And then when you're communicating with them, give them the end result and what it's going to be. Don't talk about the whole process. There are other people that are going to want the whole process and how you're going to get there. They just want to know what's in it for them, what's the bottom line. So their mantra, let's do it now. They're impatient, they want to make a decision. When you're talking to them on the phone or they come in the door, be as short as possible. They've got things to do. Give them the information and move on. And how they buy very quickly. So they're going to make a decision, they're going to come in, they're going to get the information they need, make a decision, and move on to the next thing. So be prepared for that when they come in. So we're working with a guy right now that I mentioned. Melissa just can't deal with him. So he comes in, I need some information from him. Instead of me saying, hey, how do you want these put? Take a step back, it's like, hey, I really need your help deciding on how to put these on there. How would you like me to put these? I needed to show him the city map, the official city map, because what he told me was wrong. It's not me, hey, you're wrong. This is what the official city map was. It's lying there on the desk for him to look at himself. So he makes that decision himself. He gathers the information. He didn't do anything wrong. He just didn't have all the right information. So it's how you interact with people. And he's made that decision himself to do something, but I gave him everything he needed to make that decision in a nice, easy manner for him to grab without being wrong. So, if you're relating to a D and you're a D, you need to show mutual respect and avoid conflicts. Because if you get two Ds together, shit's getting done. Get out of the way, or it's going to be a major argument. Until they find out who's in charge. So, if you're an I, who identified as an I? Okay, yeah, so if you're an I and you have to relate to a D, your goal is to have fun in life, we need to change that a little bit. Have direct communication. Deal with the issues in a straightforward manner. Negotiate commitments and goals on an equal basis. So, back off of those stories and just kind of get right to the point. Now, if you're an S, which is probably most of the people in the room, so be a little more assertive. You kind of want to sit back, see what goes on first, but we need you to step up, be a little more assertive when you're dealing with an S or a D type personality. So a lot of Ds are going to view your kindness as a weakness. S personality is big on kindness, but a lot of Ds are going to see that as a weakness, and they're going to try and take advantage of you or not want to deal with you. So deal with the issues in a straightforward manner. Speed things up. You're not looking at to build a relationship with them. Just speed things up, get to the point. Now, if you're a C, which probably not too many, Sarah and I didn't have to look at Sarah to know she was a C, but have direct communication. You and I, we like all the facts. We want to tell everybody everything we know. Ds don't want everything. They just want the bottom line. So get your communication more direct. Deal with the issues in a straightforward manner. You guys seeing that same pattern? Deal with the issues in a straightforward manner. And negotiate commitments and goals on an equal basis. So if this is what I need from you, this is what you're gonna do for me. And some Ds, we gotta put it in writing. So when they come back and tell you you did it wrong, it's here in writing, you sign this piece of paper. It's a very straightforward manner. This is what I need from you, this is what I'm gonna give you. So, what questions do you have about relating to a D personality style? We all deal with them. They come up. They probably rub you the wrong way when they come in, piss you off. So it's not personal. It's just their personality style. They want it straightforward and to the point.
They kind of sound like assholes when you
Yeah, they can be. They can come across as assholes a lot. But you're going to see that you can come across as, he's just irritating me because he's just telling me stories and just wants to have fun. Get to the point, Bob. Let's get this stuff done. So everybody's got these different personality styles. You get two I's together, nothing's getting done, but it's going to be a lot of fun. Get two D's together, everything's getting done, but it's all kind of, we have to learn to relate to other people. And these are some tools you can use once you recognize the people. All right, that's it. Next week, we're going to talk about I's.